Eamon O'Carroll, your thoughts on a comfortable and convincing victory for Bradford?
Yeah, very happy. I think we've made some huge strides. I saw for large periods of the game things that we've been practicing, which is really pleasing. And we didn't have it all our own way either. So I thought some of our desperation and our scramble defence was outstanding. I thought we laid down a marker in terms of our defence in the first half. And it played a huge part in us getting the result today. So overall, I'm really happy.
What's the most pleasing aspect of that performance?
Oh, we've just been talking about laying a foundation down and kicking the ball back to the opposition, and I think certainly the second half to last week and large parts today we're valuing kicking the ball back to the opposition and defending. Probably one of the most pleasing parts was where we kicked early and then we managed to drag the opposition over the goal line by 20 metres. So that's the team I want us to be known about, and we want to value that area, and more importantly, we're getting a reward for doing it as well. So just pleased overall. It was really important we got a win today in a performance, and I feel like we did it for large parts.
You've clearly highlighted what I was going to ask. Jordan Lilly kicks early in the count, turns around Craig Hall, and from 20 metres out, because of the commitment and energy in defence, Craig Hall's trapped in goal and a goal line dropouts for us.
Yeah, it's something we value, something that we want to go after, and the boys are really buying into it as well. So it's those are the big moments in the games that people notice. But I just thought overall defensively, I thought we really won collision and went after that area for large parts, and we knew it was going to have to be good because of the how big Doncaster are, the big powerful side. It will challenge you physically. So I thought we went after that area today. So I'm really happy.
You had to do a reshuffle 2 minutes in. Lee Gaskell pulled up. What's the latest with Lee Gaskell, and are you happy with how the side settled after the reshuffle?
Yeah, it's a huge disruption. Obviously, losing Gaskell, he's got his quality and the amount of repetition that we've done during the week, the last couple of weeks, and I've mentioned it a couple of times. We've not had 1, 6, 7, and 9 together for large parts of the season. I think we've only had 2 games where they have. So it's disappointing for us and for him to lose him. He's done something to his hamstring, so he doesn't think it's as severe as last time, but we'll have to get that investigated and see. But I thought Tyrone Ott came in and did a great job, just really settled us and bought into the game plan. So and then Jordan certainly played his part in that, in taking a bit more of a senior role and kicking the ball for us. So yeah, good.
Obviously, on the back of that, Mitch Suter then has to practically play the full game in that heat.
Yeah, and he's used to it. He's been harping on how good the weather is in Canberra, so I thought I'll leave him out there to test, and he couldn't do the 80, so we had to bring him off. But no, he did a great job for us. Again, really kept it simple in terms of his attack and just put all his energy into his defence, and I thought he was outstanding today.
Just on Lee Gaskell, is it too early to say if it's serious or if how long is it going to be out for?
Yeah, it's too soon to know that. He did it 40 minutes ago, so we'll get it investigated and get some imaging and see how he is. But the way he's talking in there, it doesn't seem as serious as his last one, so I'd imagine he'd be out for a period.
First 10 minutes of the game, it was a bit sloppy from both sides, penalties and errors. What was the message from you down there? Because after John Davis scored, it did appear a very patient performance. Like you said, when we spoke on Wednesday, I think it was Eamon, you don't have to score in every set, break Doncaster down gradually.
Yeah, I thought we did that probably from minute 10 to half time. So, walking down, I thought it was really important that we still referenced the start and how we went set for set in terms of errors with them. But really pleasing that we managed to turn it around. And I think it was just down to some individual concentration that, but again, huge strides. It was the same against Wakefield. We didn't quite get something right, but they're taking the message on, and today they didn't take a message on. They kind of figured that out themselves and got back to it. So I spoke about it being a big test for us in terms of the group to see what our attitude was like starting the second half. And although it wasn't perfect in terms of posing points, we didn't have to. I thought the commitment and energy to our defence was outstanding, but we had to do too much of it through our own downfall.
And in that second quarter, the last 20 minutes of that first half, I think it was 4 tries and 20 points in about 14 minutes. You must be delighted that the offence really was clicking at that point.
Yeah, it was. And it was off the back of what we've been trying to work on over the last month. Just our end of sets and valuing our defence and getting some field position and being patient, and more importantly, getting to last play. I think we've got some really good last play options in good ball. Obviously, kicking for Rock and Gilly will always come up for one, so just showing that element of patience and value kicking the ball. We tend to get a result at the minute because we're working hard in that area. So yeah, that was a real pleasing thing for me.
And especially on the back of obviously Lee Gaskell leaving, Jordan, I thought really stood up and was counted. I think he kicked 4 goal line dropouts.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, so that's a huge step for Jordy. Just nailing his job and doing what he has to do and leading the team around. And that's his job as a halfback. I thought he did it great today, and other people complimented him as well.
Strong second half, first set, another goal line dropout forced, and then an early try. Second half, it then kind of, I'd love your thoughts on it, Eamon, because it looked like the game never really found any rhythm after that.
No, I didn't. It felt like the longest second half that I've ever been involved with. It was a real stop-start, which is good because it gives us something to look at and to work on. I thought, we definitely made too many errors there. I thought we still shown some commitment in terms of our defence. We had a couple of line breaks against us, which were disappointing. Was coming out of our system, but shown great commitment to go and stop them. I'm not too sure about the try that we conceded through a kick. Thought we could have done a little bit better there. The boys are telling me that they thought they'd stop that, so I'll have a good look at that. But more disappointing in terms of how much territory that we give the opposition. I thought, if we want to be that top team, we want to be, seeing them games out, and it's not scoring points, it's just playing them down their own end and trusting in what you practice. So, mate, I'm really happy. We did some really good things, and it's good. We're not going to come out at round 12, with our complete game. It's important that we keep picking up wins. And our performances are getting better and better, and that's what I just said to the group. Our performances are getting better, but our practice is getting better and better. So we're certainly heading in the right direction. It's just important to keep our feet firmly on the ground and keep working extremely hard and as diligently as the group are to hopefully put ourselves in the best position come the end of the year.
How important was the forwards in very testing conditions? Certainly, I know Mitsuta might have enjoyed the weather, but certainly some of the forwards puffing and panting, especially when you've no Chester Butler, Michael Lawrence, Stan Smith's missing, Aribi Doro still suspended. I thought it was a real good collective effort from everyone.
Yeah, they were great. I don't think we helped them in terms of some of those, certainly in the second half, some of the errors that we were making and some of the penalties we were giving away late in the set. So again, it's a good lesson for us, but I thought they all stood up. I thought they were great. Evan Skur's getting better and better every game. I think Baldy's been fantastic. He's been out, for so long. We can just trust him to do his job. He does it really well. There's a calming influence on the group. And there's others in there that were doing really well, like Kev. I thought Elliot Paposha, I'm really pleased through the way he went after it, his intent. And, we made reference to that at half time, for such a young man coming on, playing against a team like Doncaster who are big and physical, I think he set the tone.
It appeared to me just Lee Gaskell with an injury concern, everyone else come through.
I believe so, yeah.
That must be pleasing, but at the same time, and obviously losing Lee Gaskell, who's just come back, is obviously a bit of a frustrating one.
Yeah, it is. We're used to it now. It happens. Unfortunately, that's sport. I'm really disappointed for Gaskell. He's desperate to get going, and there's no doubt we're better for having him in our side. But it just means there's an opportunity for someone else now. We'll get some reps done in training, and we'll assess where the squad's at and make sure that we're ready to go next week.
5 wins in 6 now, and there's a 3-game 6-point gap between Bradford and the sides chasing the playoffs. Do you feel that momentum's building?
I believe so. Yeah. We still got a long way to go, but I feel like we're heading in the right direction, slowly but surely. Hopefully, we can just keep the majority of the group together, keep them fit. We've got some additions coming in the next couple of weeks, which is really going to help us. But yeah, it's important. I think those will be great for us. They'll add a little bit of competition for places and add an element of freshness to the squad.
Max Lehman and Franklin Pelly were here introduced to the crowd at half-time. How close are their visa situation? Do you expect them to potentially play next week against Dewsbury?
Max should be up for selection. He'll be fine. His visa's all gone. We're not too sure on Franklin. We're trying to get that put through. So the club worked really hard on things like that. They worked really good. So that's out of our hands. As soon as we get the green light, they'll be ready to go.
Just finally from the second game now, Aidan McGowan's missed out. How are you keeping him energised and focused and involved?
Letting him know he's not too far off. I think it helps when you've got someone with the attitude of Aidan, who's just a great lad, fully invested. He's not selfish. He understands, but he's desperate to play and needs to play. And he'll look like he'll get an opportunity now, which is great.
So that Max and Franklin being close, working on the paperwork. I mean, other players themselves, when they see that quality sort of sat there waiting for their chance. Presumably, it helps to keep people on their toes, doesn't it?
Yeah, you think so. I think every top team, top squad has that element of competition within the team, and it also gives you the opportunity to rest people and rotate, which is something we've not been able to do. It's a long old season. It's not just about having competition for places. In terms of changing it because people aren't performing, it's been nice to have that headache and rotate the squad. I mentioned before, for an example, Baldy's been a long time out. He's playing big minutes now. We might be in this position to be able to go rest you, or vice versa, and go, no, Baldy, this is your time now to get some more game time. I think it's just good to keep the group kind of on its toes and keep it fresh as well. So I'm using Baldy's in it as an example there, but yeah, we seem to bring a couple in and then we lose a few as well. So on the outside, it probably looks like we're making loads of signings, which we are, but I can still only name a 20-man squad this weekend. So we've got a bit of work to do in that.
Well, I was going to say, looking over the season, you've not really been in that position of having a luxury of too many resources, have you? It's always been, often it's been forced on you by people being unavailable.
Yeah, but I'm sure every squad's going through that. It's probably magnified because we're here and we've got our foot in the door here. So every team will be going through it. It's just about managing that period. I think we've been quite lucky. I've been very lucky with the board in terms of being able to bring people in, which has been good, and obviously the loan market as well. We've definitely used too many players this year, but it's been totally out of our control, and we're lucky to have the ability to do that.
I was going to say, we always talk about an ideal world, and with injuries and that, you never know what it's going to be. But would you like to be in a situation where you can have perhaps a core of players where you don't have to be bringing in?
Yeah, I think that'd be a coach's dream, mate. Yeah, so I'll welcome that when it comes.
But in terms of the league table, as Mick was saying, you've got a 6-point gap there. Is that now a sort of position where you can sort of look to build from where you are rather than having to look over your shoulder to sort of see what other results are doing around you?
Yeah, we've not been doing that. Obviously, we're taking interest in what's happening, but we're solely focusing on ourselves. I think sometimes if you look over your shoulder or look above at what's happening, you kind of lose sight of what's happening right in front of you. And we just got to keep winning games, and the rest will look after itself. I think it's a big month for us, a really, really big month for us. So we'll focus on ourselves and chipping away at it, and hopefully getting as many wins as we can.
So this month you're sort of meeting teams at one end and the teams at the other end, don't you? So it's a good sort of litmus test of where the team is, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think I've learned this lesson very quickly. Coaching at Championship, there's no easy games. The scoreline might have looked like it was an easy game. That wasn't an easy game today. The tough, and every team will challenge you, so you have to be at your best week in, week out, and that's the messages that we're driving. So regardless if you're playing Wakefield, who's top of the competition, or a team who's around you or below you, who's off the back of a win, we've off the back of a few losses. We've learnt that lesson harsh this year. We went away to York and they've not won a game, I don't think, and then turned us over. So there's no easy games here.